Here we are, Century 21 Convention at the One Experience. I'm with Julie Warren. This is her first time doing a podcast. Get to know her. She's an incredible person. If you ever are in New Jersey, you got to stop by and say hi to them, because if you don't, you're missing a lot.
It's kind of cool. Like, it's like you're sitting here now and people are like walking by and being like, hey, nice to meet you, Jesus.
This is my first year where I felt the love.
You've earned it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Think about how many years ago was it when you came into the room and you had that backpack and you had all the cameras?
I think that must have been, I'm saying,
I think it was 4 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago. That's when I originally met you. If I'm not mistaken, I met you through Sue.
Yes.
Through a text message.
Yes.
And she said, you have to meet my friend. I'll put you in a three-way text. That's all she said. That's all she mentioned.
I remember that text.
And all I remember is go to this.
Go to the room.
Go to this bar. That's what she mentioned. Go to this bar, and she will come out and greet you. So what you don't know, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you.
I remember this.
So do you remember? I don't think if I do you know that I was on my way to go run?
No.
So you know me. I'm like, I gotta put in. I think I was running.
Jesus runs LA.
Yeah.
We know that.
I said, well, it's against my schedule. What time? She said, you have to meet her. Okay, so I stood outside for about 20 minutes. Julie, kept texting. And if you know
Was
Julie,
I ignoring you?
If you know Julie, she has a good way to reply sometimes. And so I called Sue again. I asked her, who's meeting me outside? How does she look like? She's not outside. Don't worry, she'll come out right now. Then I see you walk out. And you just kept looking around. You stared at me like, Jesus. We walk in. You introduced me to everyone. And then
that is my superpower. You know that, right?
And you left me by myself there. I just know I'm in the middle of this bar. If I wanted to have free drinks, I'm pretty sure I would.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And all I know is everyone's from New York and from New Jersey. So and then I couldn't get over the accent.
The New Jersey accent?
Has anyone ever told you?
I guess it's like when I hear other people's accents and I'm like, hey, you have an accent. But then when I talk, I don't think I have an accent, but I do.
You do. So we asked this question earlier. Bernardo and I were asking, do we have an accent?
A little bit.
How would you categorize our accent?
I don't even know if I could put like a term on it. I don't know. Like it just, I guess you're just your twang, your dialogue. But think about how many people we come across and everyone speaks a little bit differently. This is your perfect example, being at this convention.
Correct.
You could talk to 10 people and 10 people could sound different, but they all think they all sound the same.
I think it's we only speak one language. That's real estate.
Well, that's the bottom line.
That's real estate.
It doesn't matter like how you come out sounding.
No.
I think it's the way you speak to people. If you're kind and you speak to people, it's almost like that accent just kind of goes away.
Correct.
We're all the same.
At the end of the day, we are.
Let's get back to the pool party. So after I introduced you to everyone.
You left me.
I left you, but I said you'll be fine.
I was. And I just recall leaving. I went running. And then the following day, Sue told me to go to her class. I did. I think I didn't know what it was about.
Recruiting, I'm sure.
No, it was role playing.
Okay.
And if you know me at heart, I'm a natural introvert. So I show up and I go all the way to the far left. I'm sitting there by myself with my backpack. And I hear, Jesus. I'm like, who knows me in this room? And I turn around and all I see, I'm not lying, I see a group of ladies, a row, deep. Come over here. I said, okay, I guess I'll go over there.
We probably all were like, come here.
Yeah, they were. You girls were. All of you were like, yeah. Which I now find out. I think it was Christine, you, Patty. I don't remember who else was there. And we're talking, and as we're speaking, Sue asked me to role play. You said leave him alone. I go up and role play, and then from there our friendship started.
I remember that. You actually went up on stage and you killed it. Was that when you went up with Mike Milligan? Maybe
I went up there, but I was from the audience. I was
Okay,
sitting in
right,
front
right,
of
right,
him,
right.
and we role played. Which again, I go back to one thing. If I was nervous, I wasn't expecting to role play because these guys were phenomenal. I mean, this is the cream of the crop at Century 21. They were role playing. They were going at it.
It was like a
And
showdown.
oh, it was a
think. Yeah,
showdown. It was
yeah,
a showdown.
It was a showdown.
And I just recall they were recruiting. Back then, I wasn't really recruiting. And I get a tap on the shoulder, say, "You're going up." I said, and I remember you saying, "Leave him alone." And then the guy said, "No." Sue said he needs to go. And I tried getting out of it. Nope, they threw the light on me. And
You know what? You tried to get out of it, but don't you feel like deep down inside, like as nervous as you were, think about for how many years you've already practiced and you know these scripts like they're not even scripts anymore.
correct.
So you might have been nervous just because it's like out of your comfort zone.
And I'm in front of, I think it was 200 people.
But
that
you
day.
you went up there and you killed it because you knew what you were talking about.
Yes. I think that's one of the things agents don't do often. It's they have to study their craft, which is scripts. And you don't know when you're going to be called on, like that day.
Right.
And that created this friendship because
That was it.
that was it. We saw each other again in Anaheim.
Yes.
We kept in touch.
But in Anaheim, you got there. That's what I'm remembering. You walked in to the table. I could picture the room. We were like kind of over here. You walked in with your backpack,
Correct.
your cameras.
Correct.
And that was the second time. Okay,
Yes.
there you go.
And
right.
that's when they asked me to, I just raised my hand, something about it. I did say this, I remember.
Yes.
I said, if it's not on Instagram, it doesn't exist.
Right.
And I just remember speaking. Then our relationship, our friendship started because you called me. And you asked me, is there any way I give you some tips? And that went from a phone call to a Zoom, to a Zoom, to a weekly Zoom. And it was almost like a year after that. And we would just role play every week.
Don't you think it's crazy how it's like you can go your whole life without knowing someone,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden you get introduced for whatever reason, and then your paths cross, and it's almost like I don't remember life before Jesus.
Oh, that's deep. I never heard of that.
Think about it. Think about it.
I didn't look at it that way.
That's how friendships form. You know,
Yeah.
you think about it and it's like, I didn't even know who you were. And now it's like we know so much about each other.
Yes.
And, you know, something that Christine, I mean, we spent every conference together because we're just very similar. And we saw right away all of the positives and how much you had to offer. And it's funny because it's like, you're coming here thinking, who are you?
hmm
And we're like, where have you been? Think about it.
California. In LA. Out in LA, in California.
Jesus runs LA one more time. But, you know, you think about it. It kind of goes pretty deep. And it's like we've formed this friendship where you've helped me just because of what you do. You don't even think about how you're
No.
helping me. And the way that we were able to help you was that we were able to give you, I don't want to say a name because you had your own name, but we kind of like, we kind of just kind of went like that.
I just found out how Christine, I don't think I've ever asked her. I think she just told me on the other podcast. I think BBA,
Yeah.
which I had never heard of.
Yeah.
And
We got your broker to join. He's
I
joining.
just found out.
He's
So I
joining.
just
We
found
told
out
him.
about an hour and a half
We
ago.
told him that he has no
And-
choice.
And
Sorry.
Thank you. And she said that they did when they mentioned my name. Fernando didn't know who I was, or sorry, it was
Steve Otino.
Steve. Shout out to Steve,
Right.
great guy.
We have a great BBAA.
Yes,
of us.
You guys got to join. And she mentioned that he questioned, who is this guy?
Right. And we're just like, he's great. Don't worry. We got this. And that's just the group that we have.
that brought so much. I remember getting the phone call, and I don't know what to talk about. That was my
Dramas
first time.
in the details.
Dramas in the details. And
Wait, I know one thing. Sorry. I have one question for you.
Uh-huh.
Are you coachable?
Yes. That's
That's what sticks out in my mind to you from
Really?
you. Yes. Are you coachable?
Wow.
That is one thing. Yes, drama's in the details, but are you coachable?
That's one thing my mentor asked me.
Right.
And
It's
he,
frustrating.
and he had, I'm just going to ask you one question. Are you coachable? I said, yes. As you get on the other side of the coin, which is the managing side, coaching side, that's one of the first questions I ask.
Right.
Statistics are 10 will say yes, obviously. Realistically, 2 or 3 are.
Sometimes
might
people
follow.
also may say, yeah, I mean, most people are going to say yes, because who's going to say, no, are you
No.
coachable? No, come on. But sometimes people think they're coachable,
They're not.
but they're not.
There's a 3-letter word. It's ego.
Yeah. Right. Or they just don't get it.
That's different.
But yeah, but you know what?
Those are the wonders of life.
But it takes a certain person to be able to make it in any business.
Correct.
But real estate specifically, I mean,
Mhm.
think about it. You have to be a therapist. You have to know how to speak to people.
A market
You
analysis.
need to be chameleon. You need to know how to do market analysis.
Yeah.
You need to know about the towns. Like, there's so many things that you need to know about.
Which, when I created the class for the Carolinas, there's a word in there I put in my class: versatility. You have to be versatile. I
Right.
learned that through
Right.
Phil Jackson.
Yeah. And you have to move fast.
That's what it talks about.
You have to move fast.
You have to move
Yesterday,
fast.
I think it was Robert Refkin who said, like,
You have to make
you
fast
have
decisions.
to make fast decisions.
Because if you're not, someone else will.
That's exactly
caught
right.
that quote.
That's stuck out, right?
He said it so precisely that I don't think you could have said it any
Correct.
better.
There are so many times, Jesus, that people will say to me, you know, you're all over the place. You're, you know, about me. You know, you're running so fast. You're juggling this. And I look at them and I say, how could you not? How could you not be juggling all this while still checking your emails and responding to this? Because people don't want to wait.
They want instant.
They want
gratification.
instant gratification.
It's the beauty about today's life, and it isn't. But yet, you study history. A lot of the biggest things that happen now was a quick decision.
Correct.
They just jumped on. They saw
Correct.
the vision.
Yes. And I agree, you need to have boundaries.
Correct.
I'm learning that I need to sometimes learn to say no.
No.
Or there was an office that had a shirt that said okay, I'm not going to say it on camera, but it was figure it the blank out.
Yeah. I met them.
Love that.
Yeah.
Century 21 803. Century 21 803. But it's true. People don't know how to think for themselves. They don't know how to multitask and how do I get here without doing this?
Without hurting someone.
Right.
Or their emotions.
Yes.
True. I've learned that the hard way. I think in the last year or so, I've learned how to just say no to a lot more people than before.
I think you and I both are people pleasers in a lot of ways, deep down inside.
We have a lot of similarities.
A lot.
Somehow, I don't know why. I still don't understand why she's on the East Coast.
And I still don't understand why you're on the West Coast. Maybe we can meet somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle, right? We'll go to Chicago or
something.
something.
And open up like this crazy, because I would do anything to work alongside of you.
Most people now, I rarely share this story about how we met, what we did back behind closed doors. Don't like to talk about it. I think if anybody, you'll speak on it. But it was so gratifying for me I would stare through my lens, and I would always see a parking lot, because most people don't know that we will talk once a week for about an hour with your office. I got to meet everyone through a Zoom. I would say to me, it was just a pleasure to
and
speak
we were
to your
so
office.
appreciative of that.
It was once a week, and I'm open still. Whenever you girls are ready, I'll be more than happy to go back. And I always said, I wonder if I would go visit you. And I always made it a point, but like, what are the odds of me going to New Jersey?
Well, I'll tell you
what. We drove
what.
all the way to New Jersey.
They literally, Jesus and Steph, like, seriously, when you told me you were really coming to New Jersey, I was just like, really? Like, but that's the difference. I was thinking about this. There are dreamers and there are doers.
Correct.
And there are people that don't dream at all. But you dream, and then you execute.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of people can do that. Again, kudos back to Robert Refkin for a second. When he said yesterday that his mom, instead of saying to him every night, sweet dreams, she would say, dream big.
Dream big.
And that gives me goosebumps
Yep.
because that reminds me of you.
Oh. Oh,
You
wow.
dreamt big.
I
And you've
remember-
only just begun. I hope you know that. Think about it. In only 4 years, you came here knowing nobody. Even though you've been in the system, you were in your little California cocoon,
bubble.
bubble. And now, 4 years later, we're sitting here and people are walking by and introducing themselves to you
Mm-hmm.
and thanking you.
That I'm not used to. I think you and I are like that.
Well, that's why we're both like
yeah,
that.
we're not used
Humble.
to
Humble.
yes.
But you know what I'm learning? My sparkle and your sparkle are totally different, and we could each have our own sparkles.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to know that sparkle, and you need to project it. It doesn't make you vain. It doesn't make you, I hate the word obnoxious. It's not.
I think that's the right word. It doesn't make you vain.
It doesn't make you vain.
Yeah.
Show what you know. You can't know everything. But if you're not showing what you know with this stuff that you're great at, why wouldn't you?
Why dim your light?
Why dim your light? For so many years, Jesus, I stayed back because I didn't want to offend my agents. I didn't want my agents to think I was competing with them. So, you know, I would be quiet with my posts. I wouldn't do video, all this stuff. And now I decided in the last 6 months, that has changed. Going back to my sparkle won't dim their sparkle.
No.
And their sparkle won't dim my sparkle.
It's like the universe. You just have to learn how to navigate everyone.
You have to learn how to navigate.
And in your case, you're the sun. You're the core for
Why do you
everybody.
think that?
I've been in your office. That's why.
Well, hold on a second. We kind of pivoted because, you know, I go off track all the time. But so no joke, Jesus and Stephanie, I'm saying it like with third person. You and
Of
Stephanie
course.
came and made that trip out here
Mhm.
to New Jersey. You spent time in the office.
Mhm.
We went around. We had dinner together.
The lovely, by the way.
It was okay.
Hospitality was great.
But it was like, it was something that I never really thought. People say, oh, you're going to come, we'll see each other.
Mhm.
But sometimes it's all talk.
Not when I got the call and I remember I'm in the East Coast. I had some time.
Oh, that was when that's right. We piggybacked off of Myrtle Beach.
And then from there, I just said, well, I looked at the map and I said, why don't we just go to New Jersey? Originally was Orlando. So then I told Steph, share division. She said, well, let's go. And she's always supporting about my
You
vision.
are, I was just going to say that. I don't know if you, I might be wrong, but I don't know if you would be able to be as in the moment as you are if you didn't have such a supportive wife. I think
Correct.
Stephanie truly admires, adores you, and loves what you're, I think she truly loves it for you.
She sent me a message yesterday, very long message, and that's it. Those were her words.
No way.
Those were her words. I'll show you the message after.
See, we're on the same page.
And she could have been here, and she said, "Just go.
Go, you do you.
You do you. I'll be
do
back."
you. Because it's less worrying. If she was here, you would be like, "Are you okay? This, that." Like, and it's probably better.
Just go. She's like, "Just take me to Disneyland."
Right, exactly. Back to Disneyland.
Back to
right?
Disneyland.
Back to
right?
Disneyland.
So
Right, it's always like, where are you
yes.
gonna go? Right. But that's
and
fine.
When I shared the vision, she's like, "Well, let's go." We went. As we went to Philadelphia, as we're in Philadelphia, it's a funny story. We're big baseball fans. Obviously, we're Dodger fans, but we're baseball fans at heart. We're keeping an eye on the Yankees Red Sox series. And I'm like, we're rooting for the Yankees because we wanted the Yankees to go back to the World Series so we could get the rematch against the Dodgers. we start traveling, going to New Jersey.
You guys got lost. You literally
got
got
4 hours
lost.
lost.
You drove 4 hours out of
Out.
the way. And then how about when you're in Manhattan and you're just like, we'll find the subway. Like, no fear.
No,
No fear.
no, not at all. When you told me, I'm like, no, this is fine. And it was fine. I love New York, which I didn't know where I was at, but it was in nothing out of
Well,
the
I
ordinary.
guess I have to come to you next then.
Yes. You could just catch an air flight right now. 30 minutes, you'll be there.
If you had to say the one thing that stands out to you the most, like from this conference, what do you think it would be?
The vision. The vision where the company and the brand's going. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways I got. It's the vision, where it's going, who's leading it, and what they want to do.
I agree.
That's to
I
me
agree.
was my biggest takeaway.
You know what I loved is that Robert was very honest. Like, we're
Yes.
kind of navigating this
And he was
together.
so honest about it.
So honest.
He said, hey guys, we know where the end goal is, but we're still building the railroad tracks. We're still
Right.
building it.
Right,
But this is where we're going to.
right, right.
We're
It's
moving
almost
the
like we're
boulders.
getting in at the ground
we're
level.
moving the boulders around,
Right,
but
we're getting in at the ground
but
level.
we're fine. We'll be fine with it. And I think that's the biggest takeaway
Right.
I got. That
Right.
I love where the brand is going with it. They shared the vision. They didn't have to oversell it.
I don't think there could possibly be another brand. I just don't. I mean, I've only been with this brand, and you too.
Hmm?
I just learned that literally yesterday, that both of us have only been. What year did you start with Century 21?
05.
Okay, so I've been with since 1993, but I don't know any other brand. But I can't imagine that any brand has this amount of love and respect for
That-
each of the brokers and the level of sharing.
That's I think where it's and I think sharing goes more in now. What I know now, it's when you really get to know people within the brand,
Yes. Yes.
and which is the leadership. And I know that's where you said 4 years ago, because I was that one guy that would always sit in the very back, take some notes, go back home and share them there. But
Could
the
you imagine? And
more-
now Mike Needler knows you, and Tori knows you, and all these people that it's like,
and all of them, I would always see them on stage. And I cannot make this up. I was just sharing them, which I found out Casey,
love
she's the
Casey.
one that created the scarf. I think there was a scarf that was given about 2 years ago. I'm in the very back row when they do the whole international parade. I'm in the back. Again, I don't like to really be in the crowd. And then someone just handed it to me, here, thank you for supporting, because they saw me taking pictures. Took it home. It's in my office now. And it's interesting because this year, and we have footage, I'm in the second row
See?
to the front,
See?
and I'm thinking to myself, I will look back. I'm like, I was that guy who would always be all the way in the back.
Isn't it
Yeah.
interesting that in just such a short amount of time, and I think that takeaway is that, like, people say to me, oh, how do you do it? How do you now all the business, 30 years of never taking my foot off the gas.
Correct.
And I think that's the same thing for you. And
Yeah.
that's why looking back and now fast forward,
It was
It's
interesting. I had
so
this
different.
conversation because I want to make sure I share this. We're working together. I always say we're working together. And you asked me something. Do you know Mike Miller? Do you know? I know of them, but I don't. And he said, wait, so you don't know who I know? And I'm like, no, I don't know who you know. And you started, I'll connect you. And then you just switched the conversation, as you can tell on this as we're speaking. You know how to pivot away. And then I got introduced to, you connected me somehow through Christine, and then somehow we started interactions. And that's how I got to BBAA in South Carolina, which I would never in my wildest dreams imagine myself,
well,
why
you're
would I
coming to
go?
Charlotte now. Next to Charlotte.
I heard. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten there. I just keep
Next to Charlotte.
Yes.
Charlotte,
And so
October 26th.
mhm. And I remember I'm like, okay. And it's just interesting there's something years ago I heard, the power of learning how to say yes as well.
Yes.
And I just remember when you said K in year, I said, yeah, go for it. And one thing led to another. And here we are in Las Vegas.
And sometimes you have to just let loose and just say, like, why not?
I mean, for me, it was more. I'm like, if someone asks me for something, I've always. That's just me, who I'm truly at. I'm always saying this. Did I earn the right to go home?
You always
And
said that.
Yep. And I'm always saying, if you touch somebody in the right direction, if you bless them,
Careful, careful.
and
Okay.
if I'm able to bless somebody, then I know I could go to sleep
Right,
comfortably.
exactly. Right.
And so
Right. You always would say that.
and I remember when we spoke, and I just said yes, and it was so gratifying for me each week doing that, and that just made me feel more 100% better. Just that day, that to me was my
Okay, so
my
before
blessing.
we end, I just have one question.
Okay, I
How
want to know.
proud is your mom of you?
I'm not sure.
Do you
I
think she
sent her a picture, but
understands
no,
the magnitude?
no. You could tell her that. I don't
Yeah.
think she.
What's your mom's name?
Sophia.
Sophia. Rock star. Hard worker. Your mom must be so proud of you, Jesus.
I say this because I send her a picture. I think I posted on social media. I'm in the
I
room.
saw.
I send it to them. But when Carolina, I sent her the picture.
And she was probably like, what are you doing
this
next
is what
week?
she said. No, this is what she tells me. I sent her, Mom, did you see the picture? Yeah, amigo. She says, mijo, that son. Yeah, son, I saw it. I watched the picture. Hey, don't forget to send that payment that
Exactly.
you have to do. I'm like,
Right. They don't get it. They just don't
And
get it.
I called her and I sent her the picture again. No reply whatsoever. Talked to my mom again. She's like, hey, well, are you tired? What have you been doing? I'm like, Mom, I'm speaking
Working.
tomorrow.
Right.
She's like, okay, that's good. All right, Mia, how's everything else? I think she knows. I think she knows, but I'm not sure
The magnitude.
the
Right.
magnitude behind it. I just know that there's been times that they tell me that she's proud, yada yada. But maybe it's that mother tough love. I
My
mean,
mother's
she tells
the same
me,
way. My mother's the
she
same
tells me
way.
the same thing. Mijo, I love you. Keep crushing it.
Right.
And there's been times she shares a lot of love. I'm not saying she's not that lady. I'm just saying that I don't think, or maybe she does. I just haven't asked her because the response has always been,
What's next?
yeah, what's next?
And that's the same thing with my parents.
Yes.
And you met them. And
Yes.
it's my mom, there was never snow days. Well, you didn't have snow days in California, but my parents always taught me just put your blinders on, keep your eye on the prize,
I'm just working.
and just keep working.
Yep.
Keep working.
Yep. And
My
I think,
dad would say to my mom, because my mom, started the business, my dad would say to her, you need a baker's dozen listings. One would sell, you got to get another one. You got to get another one. There was no resting on your laurels. There was, yes, you can celebrate the wins,
but what's
but
next?
go back to it.
But yeah, but what's
Go back
next?
to it.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's one of the key things that my mom's always put on me. I mean, I see she would door knock, sending shirts. She would door knock.
And my mom would cold call,
Yeah.
selling carpet cleaning.
She would sell colognes.
Sales is sales.
Door to door.
Is it true or false?
No.
Sales is sales.
Sales is sales.
If you're good at sales, if I could sell, I can go on the road and sell these glasses.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And
I saw you sell tickets at BBA.
Sell tickets. That's exactly right. I can go around.
Yeah.
Selling is selling.
Yeah. I remember because I was helping you out on the other end, but by the time you got to me, I'm like, oh, he already sold half the room.
Yeah.
Sales is sales. And my mom always she said this, if I had a license, I'll speak your language, I'll kick your ass. She
I
told me
believe that.
that at the very beginning of my career. And I just looked at her and I'm like, I told her, okay. She's like, look. And then I asked her, I picked her brain only once. I said, did you ever door knock? Because I knew. But back in Mexico, she said, yes, I would sell pictures. So you would walk into her, this is the story she tells me, she would make a small picture, blow it up, and make it very elegant. So she would carry like an example. And then she said, when I would knock, most traditional Mexican houses will always have a picture of their wedding in the back. So when they would open the door, she would greet them and she would look back. And if she saw the picture, she was like, oh, that's a nice picture. Oh, that's my wedding. Once they told me what it was about and the emotion, why would you like to make this picture? And that's her sales pitch.
There you go.
So I said, oh,
right.
Mom, at any moment, did anyone ever just diss you out?
All the time, probably.
She said there was one time where this lady
Thick
was so
skin.
close that the door almost hit her, right?
Right.
The story she tells me. So she knocked again. And then I guess the lady opened the door and she said, "Ma'am, I think you hit my nose." And I think she said, "You broke my nose." "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." She's like, "No, I'm just kidding. I was just trying to," and then the lady started laughing and she made the sale.
There you go. It's breaking the ice.
It's breaking the ice and learning how to not take no for an answer.
Correct.
And so you could get so much of our parents, and yet here we are in the Bellagio,
Right.
which I would have never imagined me.
Could you imagine?
No,
All I can say is that I'm so thankful to have met you
likewise.
and what you've done for us. And I feel like it's so mutual.
It's mutual.
And there are no accidents.
No.
You don't meet anyone by accident. And I'm very thankful.
Likewise.
This was great.
The feeling is so mutual. I'm glad it's your first time doing a podcast.
My first podcast.
So